But I want to say, you know, when he invited me to read tonight, I couldn't, in the spirit of being gay and queer and in knowing that there aren't enough books out there and authors out there and people out there, opportunities for us to read and invitations for us to read, I was like, well, I'm not going to do this by myself. That would be really stupid. I'm going to take these whole 2 hours and just be all by myself? No, that's not going to work for me. That's not the way we work as a community. We really put the word out there and invite as many people as we can to give them space to be here. And that's, in that spirit is why, you know, my very good friends, we hardly see each other, but I'm so happy we're all here today together. And I also want to say welcome to Charles, who said he was coming on Facebook, and he lives in New York. So I was like, oh, how sweet. He just said he was coming to be sweet. And then he like showed up. So I was like, what are you doing here? And who's also a great author. Yep. And you know, we all love Charles very much. He's a very, you know, one of our brothers in Holt. Thank you for being here, especially all the way from New York. So cool. So thank you guys for being here again. And I'm not going to talk over here. I'm just going to, you can hear me, right? Yeah. Yes? Okay, good. So this morning I read to high school students, like lots of them, I don't know, many, lots of like rows and rows in this huge auditorium. And I was a high school teacher for 13 years, so it was really terrifying. I was terrified because I was like, okay, all these years people have been telling me, you know, oh, don't be alone with the girl in the classroom, and don't tell anyone you're gay, and blah, blah, blah. And then you have all the old thoughts of like gay people are, you know, pedophiles and, you know, molesters and sinners. And so you know, in the classroom, I dealt with a lot of my own homophobia, this institutionalized, this thing that happens when you're afraid. You know, I'm like sitting this far from students, doing the side hug, always leaving the door open, you know, and that's not, it's terrible. So this morning I was terrified. And then plus my daughter's school was there, which was even a whole other, her high school. I was like, oh my God, right? So then the vice principal's there and the librarian and the teacher. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna rip my hair out. But, you know, it was really amazing. And of course, Michael introduced us and he read my whole book title and I was like, whew, he told everyone I was gay. Not that they didn't already know. But it felt so much better after that. And then I was like, I need to do this. It's not that I just want to. I need to, because I needed to read this book in high school, you know, and all of your books in high school. I needed it bad, and many students still do. And I want to thank Deborah for coming also. She's also faculty at Our Lady of the Lake, and also a queer artist, and doing so much empowering work for San Antonio. So it's just important that we always recognize one another and help each other in that, and because more people need to know, right? So thank you for being here. And I'm going to read a few pieces. I'm going to start with something NC-17, something X, something, even though everybody saw you're here. But you understand this. Okay. Well, Chicle.
I know, right? I love Chicle. She's chewing gum.
Pick it up. You said I love Chicle.
There you go.
Gum melts into foamy water down the back of my tongue, and I drink its juices like I drink a woman on my face, wrapped tightly like a candy wrapper. I love the sweet, salty suffocation of slowly sipping the syrupy nectar like snow and mint gathered at the corners of my mouth. I am thirsty, and I want 7 pieces of gum in my mouth. But these people, these lesbians sitting around me will know exactly what I'm doing, simply by the look on my face. Slow, fruitful moans sing from the back of my throat, while saliva slips from the cracks on each side of my lips. I just stick with one small, slick mound of freshness in my mouth. For now, remembering what a wise old magical lesbiana once told me. Always chew gum. I know why now. Gum daydreams, shames dirty magazines, embarrasses all battery-operated tools, along with the CEO of the XXX Super Sex Smart Megaplex, to shame. One little piece of dentine ice. She said, Gum makes the jaw last for days. Her words stuck with me. Salivating and gliding my tongue around while little bubbles popped crispy sounds between my teeth pressing together. I glue the pink, fleshy body to the roof of my mouth and the inside of my warm, red gums. I will never be the same. Foil wrappers, all in colors with textures, will be carpeting my truck, fall from my jean pockets entangled with the lint from the dryer. I must kiss the gum. I reach for her. La beso y se me pega. Awesome. Okay, and then I'm going to read I'm going to read a piece called Wedding that I've never read out loud, and because it will connect with my next piece. So this is called Wedding. I remember it being at a gaudy reception hall in the back of the bingo parlor or a church or something like that, maybe a gym. I don't know how, why, or what her first name was, but this woman I called Tia had the biggest hair I'd ever seen and wore a brown chiffon dress that flared out like a coronado cajeta dulce wrapper. It was doused in copper flakes of sequins, so even under dim light, she ignited this place into a disco. She bounced between kisses and hugs, a cuete in the night combined with flashes from the 3 cameras strapped around Tia's neck. A big black one, a Polaroid camera that shot the white frame photos out immediately, and a yellow throwaway one tucked in between her boobs. She was standing beside my mom, 2 people away from me, and from here I could still smell the sugary scent of hairspray and Avon powder rising from the hot steam of her sweaty face. Even though I felt excited to see my Tia, who I didn't even know her name, I dreaded what she was going to say. She hugged my dad first. I was next to be wrapped in her arms, and I knew it. "Ay, your baby, qué preciosa," she addressed my parents first instead of me. The wings on the side of her hair poked into my eye when she turned to finally kiss me. "You're next, mija, don't you worry, you're pretty." She assumed me of my future, but I didn't feel very assured. "Hi, Tia," I said monotonously. She jabbed her pestering boyfriend questions into the split second between sips of her wine and my breaths. "You got a novio, mija?" She questioned, bunching my parents and me together, shoulder to shoulder, for a photo. I couldn't answer or look seriously into either of her 3 cameras. The inside of my body felt like shutters retract and the flash electrocute my eyes. Even though I never answered her first question, she persisted. "Tu hermanita's a beautiful bride, mijita. ¿Y tú? Who did you come with, mija?" "I came with my grandmother. Is that okay with you, Tia?" The sarcasm couldn't have been cut with the machete. My poor mom's eyes flipped up like my muñequita Nighty-Night Nancy, scared, surprised, and beautiful all at the same time. I prepared to walk my grandmother to her table with hopes of losing Tia Metiche to her in-laws or any other family for her to pester. But she stayed glued to my side, flashing and flashing photos in every direction while keeping her ear pointed and toward me in position to accept an answer. I slapped my hand in the air, snapped my wrists, and mirrored my smile against hers. "Yes, Tia, my boyfriend and I will be getting married soon, but it will be a small wedding, so you're not invited." Before I walked away, I made sure to leave her with the closing thought. "Okay, thanks." My mother's eyes closed for that time. Another layer of self-hate coated my face like a hard plastic. I smiled and kept on walking and waving around and around the hall. There would never be a wedding for me. My tío's traditional tequila shot before pushing each amante stumbling down the aisle, Dad's brisket, Mom's beans, una madrina de arras, or the lasso of my abuela that once bound her to my abuelito on their knees at the altar facing Jesus. And I will most definitely not have the Tejano band everyone hires from Los Fresnos that supposedly play backup for Selena. My feminine facade lost its grace, and I realized I didn't want to be bound on my knees anyway. Not with some sweaty guy, at least. I knew that for sure. There would never be a wedding for me. I smiled and kept walking and waving around and around in the hall in a daze, Before I could escape to the back door for a smoke, mi prima Melly saved me from spiraling into an internal argument of hate. She reached for my hand without giving my ashamed side a chance to say no, and whisked me onto the dance floor with all my baby primos and primas spinning in circles, holding hands and bouncing up and down. Melly put her cheek against my face. My family started whispering at each other that two girls were not supposed to be dancing together. I'm going to read one more. And the reason I read that one was because, yeah, I never ever thought I would get married, and I never wanted to get married until I met Erika. And then I was like, oh shit, I gotta marry this girl. I'm ready. And so we are getting married in January 9th in Isla Mujeres. And I'm going to read a new piece that will actually be coming out, published with UT Press in an anthology, the Hannah Anthology. And this is a poem about our travels. She travels with me to write down in South Texas. I'm actually from South Texas originally, so a lot of my story and my inspiration comes from the sun and the beach and the birds and everything of South Texas, which is what it is. So this is one of our travels, and this is called Sin Vergüenza on the Banks of the Water. Palm trees rush by my car window like a mosca passing by. We're more than halfway there when brown vendors peep out behind small buckets of oranges looking scared. I feel like we have to stop, like we have to buy something, you mutter to me. Tap my shoulder, aimed at the wheel. They're out here working to feed their family, and it's hot as hell. Thank God for the wind from the coast, I